Hello, my name is Morgan Dito. I'm going to be doing skill number 8 today, which is preparing capsules. So what I'm going to be doing today is performing my calculations. So what I'm first going to do is talk about my caffeine powder, my E-glutamine powder, and my NO-API powder. So my calculations for all three of those, because I'm going to need 3 different measurements. For my caffeine powder, it's going to be 100 milligrams for the caffeine powder. So this holds 100 milligrams. So I'm going to divide that by 1,000, which is going to give us 0.1 times 10, which is going to give us 1 gram of caffeine powder. What I'm going to do for the E-glutamine powder is I'm going to do 100 grams of E-glutamine powder divided by 1,000, which is going to give us 0.1 times 10 grams, which is going to give us 1 gram of E-glutamine powder for 10 capsules. So we'll have 1 gram of caffeine powder for 10 capsules and 1 gram of E-glutamine powder for 10 capsules. And then for the NO-API powder, it's going to be 5.4 grams, and how I got that is our average, our capsules hold up to 735 milligrams. So with that being said, we're going to convert it to 7.35 milligrams, and we're going to subtract that by 2 grams, which is going to be 1 gram of caffeine powder and 1 gram of E-glutamine powder. So once we do that, it's going to give us 5.35 grams. So we're going to convert it to 5.4 grams for a better measurement for the API powder. So that's going to be my math for that. And then we're going to go ahead and discuss all of our materials that we're going to be using today. So I'm going to use a pair of sterile gloves of course. I'm going to use my Morel and pestle to do the mixing. I have my NO-API powder. I also have my E-glutamine powder. I have my caffeine powder. I have my alcohol wipes. I have my scale that I'm going to be using. I have my 10 capsules I'm going to be using. I have my weight boat and my other 2 weight boats. So I'm going to be measuring the 1 gram of caffeine powder and glutamine powder, and then my 5.4 grams of NO-API powder. So I also have a spatula, and I have my piece of paper to lay all of my mixtures onto, so that way I can perform the punching with the capsules to get the powder inside the capsules. Okay, now that I've gathered all my materials, I am now going to go ahead and perform the hand washing routine. So, the first thing I'm going to do with my hand washing routine is to make sure that I don't have any jewelry or any type of bands on my wrist. So I do have a wedding ring, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And then I'm going to begin washing my hands. So the first step that I'm going to do while washing my hands is I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to turn on the water to about lukewarm. Then I'm going to go ahead and get my hands wet. Alright, now that the water is warm, I'm going to take some soap. And I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands in circular motions. Wash my hands in circular motions. For about 20 seconds. Alright, so now that my hands are all nice and lathered, I'm going to take my nail brush and I'm going to go ahead and wash my nails. now that I am done washing my hands, I am now going to go ahead and rinse them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take another paper towel to go ahead and turn off the faucet. So I have another paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the faucet. Then I'm going to grab another paper towel to go ahead and blot my hands dry. Alright, now that my hands are all nice and clean, and dry, we are now going to begin measuring our ingredients. So what I need to do first is go ahead and put on my sterile gloves. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning all of my appliances so I can begin measuring. So I'm going to take my alcohol pad and I'm going to go ahead and start wiping everything down. So the first thing I'm going to wipe down is actually my scale because I kind of want that to dry a little bit faster. So let me wipe down my scale with an alcohol pad. Alright, we're going to let that air dry. Then we're going to go ahead and wipe down our piece of paper that we're going to be filling our capsules with on. Alright, and then we're going to wipe out our weight boat with the alcohol pad. And I do apologize in advance, my weight boat is a little bit been through some stuff. But these ones have not, so they still look very nice. I am now going to go ahead and wipe down my spatula with my alcohol wipe. Then I'm going to go ahead and wipe down my Mora and my pestle. So my pestle. And now that all of that is wiped down, we are going to begin measuring. Okay, now my scale is all dry and ready. So what we're going to start with is actually our NO-API powder. So we need to be measuring out 5.4 grams of a NO-API powder. Okay, so we're going to turn on our scale, and I'm going to show you that it is at 0 grams. So it is at 0 grams. Alright, and then I'm also going to show you what it looks like with our weight boat on it. So it gives about 2.3 grams, so we're just going to go ahead and press tare to make it at 0. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be measuring out 5.4 grams. I'm trying to see where I can get the... So that's 3.7, and we need to be at 5.4 grams. Now it's at 6.4. We're just going to take a little bit out. Oop. Okay. Alright, now we have exactly 5.4 grams. So I'm just going to let you see that. .4 grams for our API powder. There we go. The lighting is kind of crazy. Hold on. Alright. So I have my 5.4 grams. Now I'm going to take my other little tiny boat and I am going to put it back at 0. And then I'm going to let you see that. It's back at 0. Now I'm going to put my other weight boat on there. And it gave it about 0.7 grams. So we're going to go ahead and press tare and get it back at 0 grams. And what we need is 1 gram of caffeine powder. So before I start actually digging into the other powder with my spatula, since I used it in my API powder, I'm going to go ahead and take an alcohol wipe and wipe it down real fast, let it air dry, and then we're going to go ahead and dig into our caffeine powder to get our 1 gram. I just don't want to mix the powders. So we're going to let that air dry. Alright, now it's all air dried. And we are going to go ahead and dig into our caffeine powder. We need 1 gram of that. Okay, so it's back at 0. I had to go ahead and wipe it down because I got some powder on it. But we're back at 0. We're going to go ahead and put our little weight boat back on and press tare. And then we're going to do our 1 gram of caffeine powder. That's 0.9. Okay, now that I have my 1 gram of caffeine powder, I'm going to go ahead and let you see that. Sorry, my lighting's kind of bad. So I have my 1 gram of caffeine powder. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe down my spatula once again and do our iguanamine powder, and we want 1 gram of that as well. wipe down that. Let those air dry. Okay. Now that our scale is back at 0, we are now going to put our, why does it look so spotty? Okay, whatever. We are now going to put our weight boat on there. And it didn't give any weight, but we're gonna press tare anyways. So it's back at 0. And then we're going to take your glutamine powder, and we wanna do about 1 gram of that as well. Okay, now I have my 1 gram of glutamine powder. All right, now that I have that, I am now going to go ahead and wipe down my scale one last time. And then I'm gonna go ahead and weigh my capsules, my 10 capsules, after it dries a little bit, to tell you exactly how much they weigh before we put any powder in them. So here are my 10 capsules. My scale is all nice and air dried. I'm gonna go ahead and put my spatula to the side since we're gonna be using it to mix some stuff. Alright, let's see. So now my scale is at 0 once again. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how much my 10 capsules weigh. Well, it looks like they weigh 0.0 grams. Alright, now that I weighed my 10 capsules and they are 0.0 grams, I'm going to just let you see that it's 0.0 grams before we fill them. Okay. My 10 capsules are 0 grams. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put those back into my paper bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I have 10 of those. Now that I'm done with my scale, I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and grab our piece of paper. and grab our mortar and our pestle. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and take our 1 gram of caffeine powder and put it in our mortar. All right, that's empty. And then our 1 gram of glutamine powder. All right, now that's empty. And then we're also gonna take our 5.4 grams of NO-API powder. And get that all in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spatula and make sure it's all in there. Because this little weight boat has been through a lot. Alright, now that's all out of there. My weight boats. We're gonna then take our little mortar and pestle, and we're gonna go ahead and begin mixing. And you want to press the powder into each other and mix in circular motions. Now that it's all mixed up, we are now going to go ahead and put our powder onto our piece of clean parchment paper. Okay, now that that's all out of there, we are now going to begin filling our 10 capsules. And we're gonna bring our scale over here because we actually want our capsules to weigh about 7.4 grams. The maximum is going to be 8.7 grams, and our minimum is going to be 6.6 grams. So what we're going to do first is so we got our 10 empty capsules. So we're going to be using the punch method, which is going to go a little bit like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our powder really close. All right, so we're going to take our capsule pill off like this, and we're going to actually press it into the powder. See how it's completely full? Now we want to do the other side. All right. Now our capsule is completely full. I'm going to place that right there. And I am actually going to turn on my scale and let you see that it's at 0 grams. And that we're going to put our 1 capsule down. And that gives us about 1 gram. So we need about 10 of those. So I am now going to fill the other capsule. Alright, our second capsule completely full. So we're trying to get to 7.4 grams of capsules. So right now we have 2 grams. Alright, I'm going to start putting my powder closer so that way I can proceed the punch method to go ahead and get all of my capsules filled. Alright, my third capsule. And that gives me 2.9. Now I'm going to make sure all my powder is back because it kind of got all over the paper. Which is fine, that's why we're doing it on this paper in the first place. I have such tiny little hands. Sorry to keep these gloves on. Hold on. What the? Okay. Where did it go? Okay. Alright, so we're going to take our empty capsule and begin the punch method to make sure it is completely full. And when you do the punch method, it's kind of hard for it to press down into the powder when it's kind of separated. So it's good to like push it in like this, so that way you can get it all put into the capsule and it's tighter. Alright. And here is our 4th capsule, which gives us 4 grams. Okay. Alright, and here is our 5th capsule. And that's actually 5 grams. So now we are going to proceed our punch technique. Alright, this is our 6th capsule, and that gave us 5.9. And we are trying to get to 7.4. Okay, so now I just have 3 capsules left, and I am at 6.1, and my 3 capsules left, and my little bit of powder that I have to do. This last bit of powder doesn't want to be my friend today. So my minimum is 6.6. So I'm trying to make sure I got all my powder out of here so that way I can get them completely into my capsules, because as of right now my capsules are only showing 7.3. So I just need one more little bit for my seven point four. Okay. I did it. 7.4 for our capsules. Yay! Okay. Now that I've done that, so my allowable measurement was, minimum was going to be 6.6 and the maximum was going to be 8.4. So I got exactly 7.4 for my weight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill up my capsule with my pills. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Sorry, I'm a little excited. I got it right on the dot. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my prescription label for Samuel Uban. Samuel Uban. Samuel Urban. Yeah, Samuel Urban. We're gonna go with that. So I take my little label off, and I am going to make sure that is on there. Now that we put our label on there, we are now going to discuss our BUD. So the date, today's date is 12/31/2019, and we have exactly 30 days to use this prescription. So 30 days from now is actually going to be January 30th, 2020. So that's going to be our BUD. Now that we've done our BUD, we are now going to complete our CR form. And we'll come back to all of this to go ahead and clean it as well. All right. So the drug is ergotamine caffeine tablet. So it's ergotamine and / caffeine tablet. Okay, and it wants to know prescribed number or ID assigned. So our prescribed number is right here, A186606. Okay, the off, don't need that. Name and strength of compound. So the strength of compound. Okay, so the expiration date is going to be January 30th, 20. So it's going to be January 30, 2020. Okay, then NFG lot number. Zero 0726C 02 072 0C and 0725C. Expiration date is going to be 7/20/23. The BUD assigned was 12/31/2019. Date packaged is going poopy. Alright, today's date for packaging, the technician's initials. Alright, and then the day's date is 3/23/2022. No, 2021. Oh my god. Whoops. Alright, and the pharmacy technician we don't need. The name of strength and compound. Alright, now that our CR form and our BUD is formed, we are now going to go ahead and start cleaning up our materials with our alcohol wipes for further use. So I have my scale, and I'm going to go ahead and put all my powders to the side because they are closed up tight. Okay, alcohol wipes. Now we're gonna let that air dry. Now we're gonna go ahead and wipe out our poor little weight boat that's been through a lot. Now that's all clean. Now we're gonna go ahead and wipe down our mortar. Alright, now that that's all wiped down, we are now going to go ahead and wipe down our pestle. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and get another alcohol wipe and wipe down the rest of our weight boats and our spatula. Alright, our spatula. Alright, our weight boat. And our last weight boat. And then we're going to take our alcohol wipe and wipe down our gloves, which that we're going to dispose of, but it's kind of messy and driving me nuts. So we're going to go ahead and dispose of our piece of paper. And then we're going to take one last alcohol wipe and make sure that there is no powder on our prescription. Alright, all clean. Alright, and let me just triple check my... Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and dispose of our gloves, and we are all finished with skill number 8. Have a good day.